How are you doing, folks? Good evening. Saturday night. I can't remember the last time I was live on a Saturday Night Gamers. We're going to be playing in a little creator tournament that Dexter and Spraggles are put together. There's 16 of us. It is single a limb. It's a two deck format. So we'll see how this goes. Could be a quick evening. If we die immediately, depending on what numbers look like, I may or may not cast things. I feel like I'm not expecting a ton of people here. Saturday's a pretty off time for me to be streaming in the evening like this. It is open deck list, and the first person we're playing against is named Sweater. And they're playing Pikachu EX and Mewtwo EX. So appropriate decks for an appropriate username. I will say, I feel some validation that a sweaty gamer has elected to put 0 red cards in their deck. That tracks. I have submitted Weezing, Arbok, and Greninja Executor. With the Weezing Arbok favoring a... Well, I can pull my own card up on here, I suppose, too. With my Weezing Arbok deck featuring the fun of Muck and Grimer for the event. These are my deckaroos. The way the format works, it's best of 3. You have to win 1 game with each of your decks to win your round. So once you win with a deck, you're done with it, and you're not playing it again. Exacto, thank you for the 17 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. We're gonna have they asked everybody to use this same overlay for the event. This will be a little bit different stream format than we usually have. So I suppose we can wait a minute to click to this. I think it's gonna be a second before they want us to play games. Or you want to leave? We are not. It's just a creator tournament. This isn't like hyper competitive sweaty. Some people are taking it a little competitive sweaty, like our Pikachu Mewtwo opponent to start, but I don't know. It's mostly a vibes kind of evening. For people who aren't familiar, these are the 2 gentlemen running the event. Longtime snappers will be familiar with Dexter. Spraggles. Spraggles is someone I did, what's it called with for forever? Well, they have prize support for this thing? They didn't tell us they had prize support. I don't know what an MXI studio is. That's cute. Bracket here. We're over on this side. Told us to share codes and begin playing. All right, let's get this queued up, huh? Oh, that's the wrong scene. I ain't getting recommended Spraggles YouTube video after watching your Spraggles. What's it called? Channel has 100% taken off as the algorithm favored Pokemon Pocket channel. He is a consummate YouTube professional. He's one of the biggest Pokemon Unite YouTubers. He's got like over 100,000. He's got over 100,000 or over 200,000 over there. I feel like it's probably. I thought it was 200,000. Might be wrong. Yeah, he has 230,000 subs on his Unite YouTube channel. All right, I'm gonna hop on in here to our first round. I'm gonna largely ignore chat while we play, because chat is distracting and generally wrong. You know what? I should hide this while I put the password in while I'm live. are on the play, and they are playing Mewtwo. We have Executor, Execute into Executor to start, and we have a Grass Energy on top. They are on 2x speed as is typical, and they are going to need them. There's no red card to play around, so we can Professor's Research with Impunity here. I'm gonna go ahead and Pokeball. Let's get the deck thinned out. I think I want to go ahead and put this other Execute up, so that way they can't, this means they can't Sabrina me into not being able to attack next turn. No reason to put another basic onto the bench. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to build up a second Greninja or possibly have a Farfetch'd. So ideally, they're going to want to switch back to Mewtwo EX in their active slot. Let's see if they have an X speed to do that. No Mewtwo. That's incredibly good for us. So we have Executor here, which flips a coin to... Executor flips a coin and does a minimum of 30, and if heads, it does 60, so it can get a knockout in one. If we land the heads here with this to start, it's going to be put us on a big tempo advantage. I think I'm still waiting on putting the Froakie out. Great. This is the downside to these Mewtwo EX decks being built like they are. When you have kind of this low roll, clunky start, you end up pretty far behind. I'm new to Pokemon card game. Can you explain why you have Executor and Executor EX? Because this deck is what I refer to as a largely single knockout prize deck. Meaning, ideally, we want to make our opponent knock out 3 of our Pokemon to win the game. And EX Pokemon awards your opponent 2 knockout points. So, by making them need to knock out 3 of your things, you end up in an advantageous position a lot of the time. This is Tempo Sabrina from them. Yeah, we hit the Greninja, which means this game is over if I flip another heads here. Actual like best possible draw for us here into one of their clunky draws. I think I'm putting out the Farfetch'd at this point, so that way if they have another Sabrina and we miss, that's fine. We didn't miss. We hit both our heads in the first round just done. So normally you win when you have 3 knockout points, but you also win when your opponent is out of Pokemon. And the opponent's deck is built in a very greedy manner. They only have 4 basics, and they got the wrong ones. That's why I like building a lot of my decks with 5 to 6 basics. Alright, so now the way this works is we each have 2 deck lists. The opponent can replay Mewtwo, or they can switch to Pikachu, but they're going to have to beat my Weezing Arbok deck with both of their decks. The first person to win a game with each of their decks wins the round. Deck is okay. And we're back. Yeah, so I have to switch decks. They can switch decks, but don't have to. They have elected to switch here. We are going second, which is an advantage in this matchup. Going second means we have the first energy advantage. And we have Ekans into Arbok while going second, which I think, again, is one of our better possible starts here. We know which deck they're playing because we saw their energy zone had lightning when we loaded him. There are a few people, this is open deck list, that are playing non-meta decks. Our first opponent is playing stock meta decks. No red card again here, so we'll open on research, get a full view of what tools we're going to have before we start putting energy out. So the opponent's deck, Pikachu EX, scales up damage based on the number of electric Pokemon on their bench, so it gets up to 90 for 2 energy potentially. We want them to ideally put an energy on Pikachu and pass back here, because then Arbok locks them in. What they need to have here to have a chance is they need to X speed back this turn and have a Giovanni and another bench Pokemon. They did not X speed back, and this is Arbok is one of your best cards against Pikachu EX. The Pikachu EX deck lives and dies by retreating its Pokemon around, and Arbok corners. Arbok puts baby in a box and says you can't retreat. That's what that little indicator means there on their card, and it cracks for 60 each turn. And this is an EX Zapdos they let on here, so we're gonna get 2 knockout points when we put this down. They do have 2 potions in their deck, so they can heal up the Zapdos, but that's gonna just stem the bleeding here. Doesn't matter if they have both potions, it only buys them 1 turn. They can put an energy on this Zapdos, and the potion can let them get 40 damage in here, essentially. That is about all. I'm gonna put Coughing up to take the damage. This doesn't really matter here. This Sabrina just buys them an energy, basically. It means that I have to spend my energy next turn retreating. Actually, it means if I draw Wiggly, I can get the knockout. Or sorry, if I draw Weezing, I can get the knockout. Do I want the knockout? I think I want the knockout, yeah. I get to go Weezing now. Toggle the gas leak. Kogo returns Weezing to hand. So poison means they take 10 damage every time the turn passes. We'll slide the Coughing out. I'm gonna put the energy on Coughing this turn, I think, so that way if I draw Grimer, I can start powering up Grimer towards Muck. And then we'll tap it with the quarter, but this effect doesn't matter because the poison's gonna go ahead and take our knockout, which gives us 2 points. This is an EX Zapdos. So they need 2 bench Pokemon plus a Giovanni to knock out my Arbok in 1. And if they don't have an Electrode here, the Sabrina is going to switch this. Even if they have the Electrode, the Sabrina is going to switch up one of their bench Pokemon and lock it in again. The game is over if they don't have another bench Pokemon here. If they just attack, we're done. They need something. Oh, we are playing 1 Grimer, 1 Muck. And then the full 4 Ekans and Coughing line. Muck's like our extra finisher / 5th basic. You really need Muck to be able to win like the Venusaur matchup. We are in a very favorable position from here. Game's not 100%, but I think if I play well, the opponent's gonna have a hard time. I'm going to put up the Ekans, just in case they're sandbagging. This means they can put down 1 electric Pokemon to get the knockout point instead of needing 2, but okay, the game is over. I have the Sabrina, we're done. Now we're 100%. We'll show we have this, and then they can let us take game actions or not, but we're done here. We get to put an energy on the Ekans, we retreat to the Arbok knocks out the Voltorb, and the game is over. Even if they would have had the Electrode, the Arbok locks it in from being unable to retreat. That is a clean 2-0 there. Each one of our decks beating each one of their decks. Dark beats Pikachu. While I think I played those games well, those were definitely both high-performing games for my decks and simultaneously low-performing games for my opponent. So, while I don't think I played bad, like those games were a good example of like exactly what I want to be doing. Like we had first energy advantage in the second game when we want it. We had first evolution advantage in the first game when we wanted it. So ideal kind of first, second alternation and ideal evolutions on curve there. Powderfinger, thank you for the Nine Months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, we're gonna kick on over. Oh, I was wondering if they were gonna show us, part of the opponent's screen or not. So they have one side. I feel like I want to clip together an overlay so I can see the other person's hand as well. Sounds good. We can see Raven is playing Wheezing Arbok as well, but they are not playing the Muck lines. This is notable. They seem like they're in a pretty good spot here. They get to take the knockout point on the Gardevoir with this Wheezing. The potion means that the Mewtwo doesn't knock it out even with a Giovanni on the backswing. And the Mewtwo's at 50. I think the Wheezing Arbok deck is a good meta anti-meta deck. It's got its HP pools line up well into Pikachu, and it's got the type advantage over Mewtwo. Can we get some sound? I mean, if I'm gonna give commentary, I'm not gonna give you their commentary. If you want to watch Dexter and Spraggles give commentary, you should go to Dexter's channel. So I mean, that's like kind of defeats the purpose of you watching my show, and that's fine. If you want to watch Dexter's and Spraggles, you should totally click over to them. But if I'm gonna hang out here and cast over the top, I'm not gonna put them on too. So Wheezing cracks for 50 here with weakness, and the poison does 20 per turn cycle, so we're done here at this point. We jumped into this game late, so we don't know what's in their discard pile, but with the Sabrina in hand on Raven's side, even if Halix top decks another basic they can switch into, it's not really going to matter. Yeah, we go ahead and we get to tackle for 50 here. I mean, we should Professor's research just for due posterity. Honestly, Raven's playing kind of sloppy because they're ahead. They should probably be, well, there might be a red card in the opponent's deck. I'm gonna pause criticizing and look at the deck list here really quick. No, there's no red card from Halix here. Yeah, Raven should have played the research and dug to set up the Ekans Arbok just in case. Like I said, it probably doesn't matter. But if there's a line for Halix to win, it comes back after that. So this thing dies to the poison and we're done here. It looks like they are queuing up a second round. I think what I am going to go ahead and do is so they staggered the first round of matches. Oh, they're just setting up because we're not fully done yet. Got it. So this is Nina playing the next one. I'm going to set it up so we can see both players' hands while they play. I think that sounds like something I want to do. Is my plan. Who do I want to watch? This game is still pretty early, but Nina looks like she is very dead here. Yeah, if you want to watch this, kick over to their stream. I'm going to set stuff up so we can broadcast next round a little more efficiently and talk about what my rounds are going to be. I'll sure to thank some people for some subs here. Appreciate the support. Prashawn, thank you for the entire year. Powderfinger, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Weeder with the 3 years. Vonsu, thank you for the entire year. Engineer, coming in hot With the 82 buds, I want to say Charmander is the hard mode starter. It certainly is. Exacto, thank you for the 17 buds. He's still... Oh, they're like jumping around a lot. All right, so the bracket here is I will be... Okay, wait, we're actually going to sit and watch this match for a second because I'm playing the winner of this match, actually. I don't know where they're at in their round. We can know where they're at inside of this game. So I'm playing the winner of Kiliosaur here versus Super Tech God. And then let's see if I do this. I'm gonna pull this out. Let's see if I can grab Super Tech God's hand here so we could have both simultaneously. Window capture, other match. Oh. Apologies while we make bacon live. Hold, please. Put this, and put it up there, and I can full screen this bad mamma jamma. That's not perfect, but it works. I make myself. We'll cover them casting since I want to do some casting over. We'll leave the competitors here. We'll do that. I think we'll do that. We'll leave the pocket invitational here shown a little bit. That's a little scuffed. But it looks okay. Well, there's a little bit of a delay between what's being shown here and what Super Tech's. Yeah, Super Tech's list is a little spicy. It's got Golett and Hypno. It's a lot of Pokemon in there's a lot of Pokemon in their Mewtwo deck, which for the record, I'm a pretty big fan of having more than 4 basics I've talked about, so I think this build is solid. So Marowak EX here does an average of 80, but it swings high and it swings low. So if she hits the 25%er, she could win the game here. But if she doesn't hit the 25%er, and there it is, that's the big boom. That's probably the game. Because the Gardevoir was set up on the bench here, and the Gardevoir was going to let Super Tech God go on the back. So people always ask, why have the coin flips instead of just having, like, the consistent 80 or the consistent 30? Moments like that, where she, like, pops off and gets excited because she hit her 25%er, that is why it's not just deal 80 and deal 160 over the turns, right? It creates tension inside. Oh, they're cutting back and forth between. All right, I'm cutting away from the main channel here. But I think I'm following Kiliosaur. Am I not? I must not be. It's bad. I unfollowed some of the Unite streamers when I stopped following that game. So let's grab hers. Perfect. Okay. This way we'll have both hands. We'll have a consistent view. I think this is how. Yeah, it's interesting. I think part of it is they want to show all the creators visually on the screen, but as a spectator, I find it jarring to cut back and forth between whose perspective you're on, rather than having it consistent. So this Gardevoir can get into a crack for 60, but this game is basically done. This potion is just kind of flailing around here. The potions don't really accomplish anything. Getting us up to 70 does not change any breakpoints here in this game. Basically wastes of potions. Yes, this is an open deck list tournament. So they can go ahead and Psyshock here. So basically Super Tech's banking on the low roll after he got by the high roll earlier. Strange decision that he put both energies on the Gardevoir. I feel like if you're banking on living through a low roll, you should probably be building up something on your bench. They have not prepared themselves for a follow. Super Tech has not prepared themselves to take advantage of a low roll here. This kind of feels like we're going through the motions type moment. All right, and that's this. I assume this is the last game. We'll find out. We'll find out here in a second from them. I don't know that I have current rounds playing out. He's a trademark king on those flips, right? All right, so to pull up the bracket here for a minute. Oh, this is gonna make showing the bracket awkward when I move myself around. I'll move this a little bit. We'll just do this. This is gonna be a little scuffed tonight. I'm not the official broadcast, so I didn't prepare a bunch of scenes and stuff in advance. It'll be okay. So we're gonna be playing Keliosaurus here, but that's not gonna be happening for a minute. We're gonna watch the other 4 matches on the other side are going to happen, and then I imagine we'll play, and then they'll play, and then these play. To stretch this out a little bit, there's 16 people, and it's double elimination. So I think we're going to watch Guest Gaming versus Yobis, because Yobis brought some adorable decks. Yobis is playing. Put this one big. Does it show up okay? Yeah, that shows well. Yobis is playing Articuno Cheese and Venusaur Executor. Oh, does Yobis not stream on Twitch? Am I gonna have to go to YouTube? Let me double check here. I think Yobis might be one of those people that doesn't dual stream. Oh, having to open the inferior platform. All right. Maybe I'm not gonna watch this actually. I lied. I'm not gonna watch this actually. Let's go back to the bracket. Let's watch Pulse and Ursi Day so I can stay on Twitch. Tap some follow buttons so we can jump around here. Pulse for one side. Guest Gaming on the other. Evening to folks coming in. We're playing in a Pokemon Pocket Creator Tournament here this evening. We'll see. I'm not sure. I might switch to guest on the primary. People have different aspect ratios for all of their mobiles, so whoever has the wider view, I'm gonna put them on the main screen as an easy decider. Yeah, this is an open deck list tournament. Let me grab these players' deck lists here. We can throw them up. Pulse and Guest Gaming. Guest has one super sweaty list here in Pikachu EX, which is the best deck in Pocket by a solid margin. And then he's doing something spicy with Alakazam, which I think is a good Pokemon. And Ditto is super cute for a tournament setting, because Ditto, they can change their energy round to round in this tournament format. so they can change to whatever energy they need for a given round to match, and have a secondary energy along with their Alakazam, who only needs one Psychic. I think is an adorable way to leverage Ditto inside of a tournament setting of this game. I actually really love Pulse's Mewtwo build. They're playing Mewtwo with extra basics to avoid the issues like the person that we beat in the first round, not having enough basics. Their choice to play a Blaine deck and only have one Blaine is interesting. I wonder if they're not whaling and they're missing the resources, or if they think the second Giovanni is better. But two Giovannis is a curious choice when you only have two cards it doesn't work with. I like the inclusion of more basics in this deck too, but I'd probably still be playing two Blaines. I don't love the inclusion of Snorlax in this deck. In fact, if we queue into Guest and we get to play our Greninja Executor into him, I'm looking forward to Greninja dealing damage to the Alakazam while they can't go. I'm going to run a Twitch ad, hopefully before this round starts here. We'll see you in 120 seconds so they don't happen in the middle of the games. Thanks for hanging out, gamers. Don't go anywhere. Snorlax has 150 life, but it has a 4 energy attack and a 4 energy retreat cost. So it's the biggest basic boy, but you're never attacking with it, and you're never retreating with it, which gives your opponent full control over when setup is done and when they're knocking you out. It gives away so much control over the pacing and tempo of the match to play it. You give your opponent permission to dictate the terms of engagement the entire game. It's such a huge downside. I wonder if they're gonna be updating the bracket as we go. I assume they are, but I asked them to share that so we can have it on screen. So what do you Snorlax the wall while they built up Vito on their bench against Ruler? Yeah, I mean, it has a very clear purpose. I just think its downsides outweigh its upsides pretty clearly. You queue into anybody playing a Zebstrika, a Hitmonlee, or a Greninja, and they're just gonna eat your lunch. GUI claiming my thanks tickets gives me nothing. Yeah, there's a cap of 5. You can't just grind endlessly for thanks tickets. Recovering Goliath Enjoyer. Thank you for the entire year of support. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Appreciate folks that are here on a Saturday night. This is a very off stream time for me. Excited that we've got almost 600 people in here. We've got 200 over on the YouTube side. I was expecting less than that. High voltage. That was a fun game mode. Thanks for the 22 months. The Legacy. Thank you for the primer. Appreciate it. They have not told these players to start the round yet. I wonder what the holdover is. What are they doing on the main channel? Are they going back and rewatching previous games? Maybe they have highlights or something they're cutting across. Oh, that game was live? Oh, I missed that there was still a game that was live. I wish we're just doing this is pretty casual, so there's no tournament pairing software for me to reference. I just assumed we were done. Because they keep cutting back and forth across matches, making it hard to follow. For reference, when the next round starts, we're watching while this plays, I'm gonna sit on one match and watch it to completion, rather than jumping back and forth. The only repeat Pokemon permitted between decks were basic colorless Pokemon, so you can play like Farfetch'd in 2 decks. Just for the sake of people being able to have like filler and stuff. Sorry about that. I didn't realize there was one more round still going. We're gonna handle on this. So they're showing this bracket, which we have over here off to the side. All right, let's all right, I'm making a second scene. We'll make this be a little less scuffed. I'll have one scene for this, then we'll have another scene when we're following someone along. Farfetch'd is a lovely little Pokemon. For sure. Nix, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate that. I'm gonna run and fill my water. I should have done it while the ad was. I'm gonna run and fill my water bottle because it's almost out. While we're waiting here, we'll have another round here momentarily. So they are staggering the order we're playing the matches a little bit. All right, it looks like we've wait. Oh, Pulse is playing Ursi Day. I'm dumb. Hold on, let me grab Ursi's hand here real quick. Ursi's screen is slightly wider, so let's put her on the main. Put this on the secondary. Alright, so we've got Pulse's hand over here at the top. Looks like we've got Blaine versus... Oh, Ursi has knockout points cut off on her overlay. That's really unfortunate. Alright, I lied. I apologize for jumping back and forth, but I'm actually gonna switch these. I'm actually gonna switch these back around again. We need to be able to see the knockout points, which are currently cut off over. I'll give that feedback to the TO, because they're gonna be missing that on their side as well then. Yeah, no points is click. It's fine. We can see him from Pulse's side here. Okay, so let's parse. Sorry for the tech stuff. We have Rapidash here. We have the Giovanni. The Giovanni in hand here, honestly, might be the entire game. Giovanni is easily Pikachu EX's best card. So the Pikachu with the Giovanni cracks up to 100 and just gets these clean breakpoints right down. And this is only the first knockout point for Ursi, but it's so much tempo. There's no setup in the back for Pulse at this point. And this position that we see Pulse in right now is exactly why I think Farfetch'd is pretty awkward in this current metagame. There's a reason why you'll only see me playing Farfetch'd alongside things like Executor and Weezing, so you have other bigger tanks. Yes, seeing screens like this is exactly why my normal Pokemon Pocket screen is cut up a little bit, so the actual gameplay takes up the screen. So the Farfetch gets to crack in here for 40, but there's no path to victory for Glazer at this point. We have officially entered garbage time. We're taking game actions. We're gonna keep playing for a second here because this is a tournament and nobody wants to concede. But Pulse is done, and we're going to the next game. I mean, they couldn't play for Blade Ninetales anyways because they didn't have an energy on the what's it called, which was why the Giovanni play was so important from the Pikachu side because it takes that break point and cracks through it. We know absolutely nothing about future updates to Pokemon Pocket. We have no official communication other than there's going to be events coming at some point. So Pulse can switch decks, but so the structure of this tournament is they have to win with both of their decks. So Ursi has to change. I believe Charizard is her second. So Pulse is going to have to beat Charizard with both of his decks. He's going second, which is advantageous against Charizard. So this is a pretty good opener for Pulse. We get to lead on Mewtwo EX to get pressure. You definitely want to lead on Mewtwo in this matchup. We see Moltres here for Ursi, which is her ideal opener. I don't know why on God's Green Earth we would lead on the Ralts. What am I missing? Why would we want to lead on Ralts against Moltres? We don't have X speed in hand. I assume there's X speed in the deck. Against the Charizard deck, the Mewtwo deck just wants to start applying pressure to the Moltres ASAP. Buy time to find Gardevoir, but the Charizard deck isn't putting pressure on you to start. Moltres deals no damage. They're never starting on Charmander and attacking with it. And Pulse knows what cards his opponent is playing. Yes, role assessment is important here. I think Pulse has misjudged their role in this matchup. They are the aggressive deck that needs to be pressuring Charizard out of the game because Charizard is going to one-hit KO literally everything in Pulse's deck. And this decision of where they started their Mewtwo could easily be the entire game. There is a non-zero chance that the entire game is decided by the fact that Pulse led on this Ralts instead of leading on the Mewtwo EX. Charizard currently one-shots everything in the game, yes? Yeah, that is correct. And we can see in Ursi's hand here, she has the Charizard ready to go. Ursi is adjusting her overlay so we can see knockout points here, I imagine, because I let them know that those were missing. I mean, playing Ralts as fodder is fine in particular matchups. However, this is an open deckless tournament, and Pulse knew what they were playing into. So there's a chance that with good Moltres rolls here, Pulse's decision doesn't matter, and Charizard's just going to roll this Mewtwo deck, because Charizard does have a good Mewtwo matchup if it gets going. If Charizard fires on all cylinders, I don't think Mewtwo is competitive against it. That being said, the Mewtwo deck's a little bit more consistent than the Charizard deck, but Ursi's hand is really good here. She has the Charizard on curve. She hit 2 heads on the first Moltres. She hits even a single heads here with this Moltres, so we're gonna be like, giddy up, cowboy. It's all over. And that for my snappers, talking about that opening decision of role assessment, that's something that's very different in a traditional card game like Pocket versus Marvel Snap. A question you have to ask yourself when playing a game like Pocket is, who's the beatdown? Who is the person whose job it is to apply pressure in the given game? So, Pulse has a line to victory here. The Gardevoir with the Farfetch'd means that there's a path here. So, the way this works, the way Pulse can put together a win is Charizard switches up and eats the Ralts. Duck taps the Charizard for 40, putting it to 140, and then Mewtwo can switch up and finish. So there's a line here. We have a sequence. And honestly, to give credit where credit is definitely due here, this line that's set up only exists because Pulse decided to lead on the Ralts. Oh, he missed using Guard's ability. Yeah, that's just a mistake. But we could see Pulse get paid out here for leading on the Ralts the way that they did. The sequence that I'm talking about also does depend on Ursi playing into that, and Ursi can see Pulse's setup on the board. So Ursi's a good player. She's very unlikely to play into this let my Charizard die, which is why we see her building up the Moltres on the back line. And this is where the skill testing part of decisions in Pokemon Pocket comes in. Pokemon Pocket is very chess adjacent in that the plays both players have available to them are face up on the board. A worse Charizard player than Ursi here would switch to Charizard when it's powered up and start cracking and lose to Farfetch'd into Mewtwo. But Ursi's identified what her lose condition is, and she's in no hurry to put this Charizard up. She's building up this Moltres and is going to let Moltres crack-a-lack through the opponent's board. I think if Ursi plays this well, we're in can't lose territory. The third energy on Moltres here. Let's Moltres knock out the routes, and then this Moltres dealing 70 threatens to burn down basically everything on Pulse's side of the board fairly quickly. And if at any point the Mewtwo EX gets into the active slot, Ursi just pivots into the Charizard EX and takes it out in one. Thanks, Willow. We were fortunate to win round one. We're waiting for the second round of the top 16 before we play. And this is Pulse. They're taking their lines and thinking it through a little bit, but I think we're done. Gardevoir does not work with Farfetch'd here. Only works with Psychic Pokemon. An interesting thought from a deck building perspective here is that if this Farfetch'd had been a Jinx, he would have been able to KO the Moltres. I don't know that that turns into a winning line, but if this Farfetch'd had been a Jinx, Pulse would have been able to Giovanni knock out the Moltres here. And obviously at situational, it's not a strictly better switch. But yeah, I think we're just done here. Pulse has 0 knockout points. Here comes the Mewtwo. All right, I'm gonna find us the next one. Pulse is done here. It's the browser tab. Let's look for Willow and Captain Kerr. Oh, right. Captain Kerr is playing Weezing Wiggly. Captain's hand here. I wish we had a clean way to know where we're at in a round when we're jumping in other than the match points. So we've got two points for Willow. I assume this comes down to a Wiggly sleep here. Wiggly deals 80 and then has a chance to put them to sleep. Actually, it might not even come down to the sleep, right? Because there's no energy on this Charizard. So even if Willow wins this flip, which they did not, they lost the flip and we're just done. Yeah, I think the Wiggly players would arrows. I just parsed how much energy was on the board. This is the upside to playing Wheezing Wiggly. We don't know if that was game 1 or game 2. We don't know the results of the first one. So let's wait and see if they're done or not. Let me check. I think I can check in their Discord. Captain Kerr just reported that as winning the first game, so we're gonna have another game here between Willow and Captain Kerr. So Willow can change decks, but doesn't have to. Captain Kerr has to change decks. They have to win with one of each. So it looks like Willow elected to resubmit Charizard here. You want a Pokemon Pocket hot take? I think Charizard's a little bit weaker than its play rate implies. I think I just doomed myself to losing to Charizard later in this tournament, but if you want a spicy one. Oh, and Kerr's second deck is Pikachu EX. This matchup is favored for Pikachu. Pikachu EX, on average, is aggressive enough to beat this up. So Willow has an in-ideal opener here on the Charizard EX. They always want to open on Moltres, and notably, Willow is missing X speed to be able to fix their awkward start for free. If Willow misses on X speed with the draw next turn, it's going to be a big deal. Captain's hand is nothing too incredible. Although the professor's research changed that dynamic a ton. I think you want to research first here, because if you're on Captain Kerr's side, you want to try and find 2 basics this turn. So researching before you ball makes you more likely to find 2 basics. Pretty unfortunate for them that they missed. They did find Pikachu EX here, so they can start setting up energy on that. I assume we'll see energy hit the benched Pikachu, because we see that Electrode inside of Captain Kerr's hand, which lets Voltorb retreat for free. So they don't need to draw X speed in this instance. And this brick on the X speed is huge for Captain Kerr. This is basically a time walk. No Moltres attack the first turn you have energy means the Charizard deck is incredibly behind in its setup. We also won't see an evolution. This take from Willow is tough. I think Willow made a mistake. I think Willow was supposed to retreat the Charmander this turn. Because if Captain Kerr draws an electric basic, they're going to retreat this Electrode and knock out Charmander, and then I think we're done before the game has started. I think Willow might have just ended the game. Statistically, with this second research, Kerr is about to knock out this Charmander. Yeah, Charmeleon has a retreat cost of 2, so they can't evolve it and still be able to retreat it next turn. And this is, again, why I think these builds that are playing only 4 basics are incredibly greedy. I think we saw this with my first round opponent, how they stumbled on Ralts and no Mewtwo, and when you just don't have your perfect opener with these 4 basic decks, you just get put out of games very quickly. I actually think one of the reasons why Pikachu EX has been one of the best performing decks in Pocket tournaments is because the way Pikachu EX is templated, it's forcing people to make good deck building decisions of playing more basic Pokemon. A lot of people are hard set on only playing 4 basics. I think Willow's actually only playing 3 basics in their Mewtwo deck. Really greedy. And I think Pikachu EX forcing people to play more basics is a good thing. I think you could add Rapidash to Charizard, and you could add Kangaskhan to Charizard. I think either of those 2 things are fine. I think somewhere between 5 and 6 is the correct number. I'm often leaning towards 6, but I think 5 is correct in some builds where you have stage 2s. Right? If I have deck slots, I generally speaking like 6. Most of the Pikachu EX decks are on 6 to 7. I think we see that tapping from Willow. I think Willow knows they're done here. I think this match has officially entered garbage time. The Pikachu EX deck has won, but we're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through some game actions. Yeah, Electrodes are free retreat. Yeah, yeah. Willow's gonna save us from some garbage time. All right, let's see if we can. I'm gonna jump to the mainstream for a second. Looks like guest gaming is still going, so we'll kick over to them. Maybe we'll figure out Yomas's YouTube stream here. Ditto versus Articuno. Ditto copies your opponent's attack. But it needs to match the energy. So Guest is doing this really cute thing where they are. Oh, I like that Guest set up his overlay stuff inside of his cam. That's cute. Let me see if I can find Yomas's stream for the other side. They're not on Twitch, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. They're also not broadcasting it on their main YouTube channel, and I don't see an immediate link to it anywhere else. All right, I'm giving up. We're just not going to have both perspectives here. Apologies. I'm not running logistics on this one, chat. We're just trying to put together something serviceable in the middle, and we're not. It's not tenable. I'm gonna actually let me ask the thing. What's the best way to get special tickets? You get special tickets by breaking down your copies of extra full arts. Yes, Willow is former SEP creator. To analyze what is going on in this game, I assume we are done here on guest side. The Articuno is going to pick up another knockout here, and there's no Kadabra, there's no Alakazam. We are officially in garbage time. We are seeing the downside of trying to play Snorlax as a staller that can't deal damage. Kangaskhan definitely a little bit better suited for that role, I think, so you can put pressure on things like Articunos. It also gives you a backup plan when your Alakazams don't come together. I think your stage 2 decks that don't have a backup plan when your stage 2s come together are a little bit consistent. Yeah, can't deal damage, can't retreat. If both these Snorlaxes had been Kangaskhan's with a little bit of variance, they could solo through this Articuno while Alakazam is nowhere to be found, or Kadabra is nowhere to be found. I will say I'm a little jealous that Guest took the time to cut their hand and energy zone up into their camera. I wish I would have taken the time to do that now, but it is what it is. It's only for one night. There's just not a line. You could teleport back to the Snorlax so you don't lose this turn, but once the Snorlax in play, it has a retreat cost of 4 and it has an attack that's 4 energy. This game has officially entered garbage time. All right, I've been given a link to Yomos' stream. Oh my god, YouTube's theater mode is actually trash. Actually, I forget how bad YouTube's streaming platform is until I go back and use it every single time. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how much feature for feature they are worse than Twitch. These players are moving to game 3. So we're going to have Articuno again. Or sorry, we're going to have Venusaur on Yomos' side. And we're going to have Alakazam again for Guest. I think this matchup favors Guest gaming. Alakazam is one of the few Pokemon in Pokemon Pocket that can go toe-to-toe and blow away a Venusaur, because it'll crack for 180 when Venusaur is fully charged up. Jade Boogie, thank you for the over 2 years. Welcome back. Weegdor, thank you for the 56 months. Zangrief, thank you for the 55. I'm sorry, there's a lot going on tonight because I'm trying to provide some coverage commentary, so I'm going to miss a lot of sub notifications. I apologize to any that I miss. Nix, thank you for the 11 months. Legacy, thank you for the brand new Prime. Yes, I mean, streaming on YouTube is free for me. It doesn't cost me anything but a little bit of bandwidth, so I'm not going to stop streaming on YouTube. I just... Other than Twitch being blocked, I don't know why you would ever watch a stream on YouTube over Twitch. Yes, Guest is allowed to change his second energy in between games. So we will see Guest Gaming make his second energy Grass for this round, so his Ditto can copy Venusaur's attacks. I don't know that that's useful in this matchup, but it'll be an option he has available to them. Notable that Yomos is on 2 regular Executor and 1 Executor EX. This is an unideal start for Yomos. Yomos wants to always begin on a copy of Executor. That being said, this Pokeball is guaranteed to get it, and we have the X speed to fix it. X speed is really important for decks like what Yomos is playing that always want to start on one of their specific basics and don't have flexibility. So I assume we'll see the X speed pull this Bulbasaur back, crack-a-lack with the eggs here, and try and... I am very confused by this first turn from Yomos. With the Executor in hand especially, I would have just cracked him for... If we would have cracked Kadabra for 20 on the last turn, we would have been able to put up Executor, get a heads, and knock out this Kadabra. Yeah, Executor is very good into Alakazam, is noteworthy. So Alakazam is good into Venusaur, so there's counterplay on both sides here for sure. I suppose he could put the EX Executor up now, which is what you go for, because we didn't get the damage in last turn. And that's probably fine. You see Guest go back in the chair. That is a 1 of EX Executor. I think this game enters garbage time this turn if we hit heads. I think we're just done. And again, this is a deck building decision on Guest's part. Guest's deck is linear, one-dimensional, only works when Alakazam gets online. So not having a secondary plan means that in a spot like this coin flip is game over if it goes Yomos' way. Okay, we won the 50-50. That does not mean Guest is favored. It just means we get to play the game. Not in a good spot for Guest Gaming, but we get to play the game. We found Snorlax. So we can retreat to Snorlax is the game plan. Snorlax is in our deck so we can retreat to it. But then we're down energy. We have the evolutionary advantage, but actually, we don't even have evolutionary advantage, right? Because Venusaur is building for Yobus as well. And with a little bit of variance, this Executor cracks through the Snorlaxin too. We're switching to Abra? Really? That's interesting. Why are we putting energy on Abra? I'm interested to see how this plays out. Guest, I assume, knows their deck better than me, but I can't process offhand why we wouldn't want to get energy on Alakazam ASAP. This sequence means we're one turn late on getting 3 energy on Alakazam, which if the Executor high rolls 25% of the time, this Snorlax dies in 2. 25% of the time, this Snorlax dies in 2. Especially, this goes back to another thing too. Guess Gaming used a potion last turn. Guess Gaming did not need to use a potion on Alakazam last turn. If they had not used a potion on Alakazam last turn, they could have potioned this Snorlax and then not have it be dead 50% of the time. And this is again when you're thinking about what are you using with your resources. Unless you're playing around red card out of your opponent, you need to ask yourself, okay, is this potion getting me to a breakpoint? Is Yobus on red card? If they're on red card, there's some merit for taking the play last turn. I'm gonna go look now. Yobus has 1 red card in their deck. Credit to Guess playing around red card might make sense. I am not a fan of Snorlax for Guess Gaming. I think Kangaskhan is much better suited. And there's the 25%er, which punishes us for using the potion. It punishes us for putting the energy on the Abra. I don't know that there's a line to victory for Guest from here. I think the writing is on the wall at this point. I don't know that Guest was winning this game with perfect play, but I feel like they could have maneuvered this game a little bit better. It was gonna be an uphill fight for Guest regardless. The line of thinking with Snorlax is that it's a tanky front line that gives you time to set up your back line. I think trying to set up the Abra into a second Alakazam was greedy and probably unnecessary. So I assume at this point we put energy on Alakazam and then we teleport the Abra back to build up the second Alakazam long term, or are we just retreating it? I don't know that I love retreating it. We might just stay in. Stay in and hope they hit tails. I mean, assuredly the Executor EX can't hit heads for a 3rd time in a row, yes? Oh, we have the X speed. Sure. The problem here is Alakazam matches up very poorly into Executor. Oh my gosh, he timed out. Oh my gosh, he timed out. There's a turn timer. There's a turn timer and it's ticking down. Under pressure. That's tough. I've been there, chat. It hurts. You're trying to make right decisions, but you gotta make right decisions in a reasonable amount of time. It happens to everyone eventually. Yomos is confirmed absolute monster. Never missed a coin flip in his life and certainly isn't about to start today. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. Ba ba da ba ba da da da. Has Guest done any damage at all? Guest has done 0 damage in this match. It's one of the, let's call it a benefit of having Snorlax in your deck. Snorlax is a lover, not a fighter, chat. He ain't here to deal damage. He's here to hug it out. So there's no line. We're done. I'm gonna go see if there's any other games playing while Yomas finishes playing with his food, but I assume we're about done. I'm finding out if we're playing all of round 2 at once or if they're staggering it. This game is deceptively simple. It's a great game. 100%. Pokemon Pocket is an amazing game because the basics are really straightforward to pick up, and there's an incredible amount of depth. Yeah, Guess has been taking their sweet time for sure. Okay, all four of the round of 8 actually never missed a flip. It doesn't, and the flip doesn't matter. Guest is dead regardless. The four in a row is like the Stings. But we're done here. Yes, simple rules do not guarantee simple gameplay is correct. Your play-by-plays have been great. Thank you. I enjoy doing commentary. It's one of the things I miss in Snap is there's no meaningful tournaments to do commentary for. I'll have to figure out a way to do this sometimes. We could there's nothing else to watch. This is the last round. We can spend some tires here, but we're done. Yeah, guess is just wasting everybody's time. He knows he's dead. I was confused when I showed up late. Yeah, we won round 1. We'll be playing against Keliosaurus in round 2. I would actually close this out. Let's take a look at my opponent's deck list here. I know they're playing Marowak for one. They're a Marowak Pikachu. So Marowak's actually kind of scary for us. And it's super effective into our dark deck. I submitted Arbok, Weezing, and Greninja Executor. There's a double deck list tournament. You have to win both rounds. I'm gonna go ahead and run 2 minutes of ads on Twitch so those don't happen while I'm in the middle of the game. As always, if you want to dodge ads, you can consider subscribing. We'll see you in 120 seconds. Thanks for hanging out. Round 2 will be up shortly. Decide which deck I want to open on for this. The Heliolisk inside of Pikachu EX is interesting. Are you nervous? My dear video gamer, in a pre-content creator lifetime, I have flown across the country to lose matches for low 5 figures. Playing a for-fun content creator tournament from the comfort of my basement on a Saturday night is like the chillest of stakes. I enjoy the atmosphere and I enjoy playing best of 3. I think it's fun. Best of 3 I think is fun. She led Pikachu inside of the first round that she played, but it doesn't mean she'll lead Pikachu again necessarily. Darling Sensei, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree, says Light. Snorlax was something we tried out during the soft launch, and I think generally speaking, Snorlax is worse than Kangaskhan if you want to have a stalling lead. Guess game is still going. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't think control decks exist in this form. In fact, I would go so far as to say that this Arbok deck that I have is the closest thing to like a control deck, and it's really more of a tempo deck. I don't think Pocket has control decks at the moment. We have tempo decks. So these are the two that I've submitted. One decision I'm not 100% sure on is if Farfetch'd is better than Kangaskhan. Although I'm pretty happy to have Farfetch'd into this pile of cards, I think, into this one. Kangaskhan is better into Pikachu, though. Has one copy of Grimer, Muck, hurt, or helped? I mean, I think it's worth playing. That's why I'm playing it, is the short answer to your question. The longer answer is that, one, I think you want 5 basics in a lot of these decks. So Grimer is an alright 5th basic, and Muck being a big damage source makes your deck not be just dead to things like Venusaur, which is nice. Grow Raven, thanks for re-upping that primer again. I appreciate the 14 months. Welcome back. I'm having a good time. We're up to over 750 people in here. I think even if we eat it in the second round tier, we'll probably stay up and cast the last couple. I'm having fun doing play-by-play. If Muck and Weezing are my favorite Pokemon, yeah, I think this deck's super playable. Weezing's one of the best cards in Pocket. If you're a Weezing enjoyer from a Pokemon standpoint, you could be plenty happy. All right, we have the go-ahead to start playing. I'm going to be largely ignoring chat while my games take place. I appreciate you being here, but you're bad. I don't want to see what you're saying. We're going to be playing against Keliosaurus. We'll be playing one of these two to start. Bots, I just want to set the tone that if anybody in chat posts a card that's in my opponent's hand during the game, they should be banned. Please and thank you. This is a pretty casual content creator event, or showcasing different decks and different creators. Don't be a dillhole. I don't think we had a problem with that round one, but I also wasn't watching chat, so. Yeah, this event is being put on by Spriggles and Dexter, so mix and matching Unite and Marvel Snap communities that are all trying Pocket a little bit. We are waiting on our opponent to get in the queue. They are searching now. Searching. All right, let's play a game. I've led on our dark deck. Let's see which one they lead on. I'm hoping they lead on Pikachu. We'll find out during the setup screen here. We'll see their energy. We are going first. We would like a Weezing in the opener. They led on the fighting deck. Sad. They have no red cards, so we can Professor's Research with impunity. Dodge a Mankey. We could dodge a ball. This game might be really quick. And just for clarity, it might be quick in a not good way for us. Primeape is a 90 hit point, 2 energy attack, deals 100 damage if their character has damage marked on it. And I do not have a good way to knock out their thing in one. I am weak to fighting, so this first attack does 40. The line here is definitely attack and hope they don't have Primeape. Primeape is very good against off-meta decks and very bad into the decks that are actually good. I can't even retreat up to the other coughing and wheezing them because Primeape will do 120 with weakness to us. Yeah, my only line is hope they don't have it. Gotta hope they miss a beat. Doing nothing is not playing to win. They're in the tank, that's not me anything. Oh, they don't have it. Whoo! Sometimes lucky rubber ducky. Licky Tug here. 3 energy attack. Does 60 per heads. So could do nothing, could do an unlimited number nearing infinity. I assume this means we're retreating, which means Sabrina is going to be an incredible draw. Oh no, we're just double potioning. Okay. Yep, something they are allowed to do. It gives them a redraw. It's this into Koga. Throw this up. This up. So they brick on their 30%er to find what's it called again? I said 30%er because they can hit research, which likely draws them into Primeape. Notable that evolving cures poison. So if they evolve, we're in a bad way. Wow, they still don't have it. We're so lucky. It's actually incredible how lucky we are. Do I want to Sabrina them? Probably. Probably. Damage Banky is very, very good. Threatens to one-shot everything I have. No reason to evolve. They have no red card. I don't even think there's a reason to play Grimer out, because I won't want to evolve Grimer next turn. I'm not putting an energy on it this turn. There is a world where I want to set up a second Ekans on my bench rather than the Muck. So I think we just do nothing with the threat of red card. So this Licky Tongue could flip 2 heads in a row and put down our Weezing here. But they're gonna need 2 heads in a row, 2 turns in a row to have a real shot here, I think. Oh, continuous lick that loves to get heads on this attack that deals 60 damage on a 90 hit point Pokemon. The designer that put this card together knew exactly what they were cooking and all the innuendos that are baked there inside of it. Okay, Pokemon Pocket Designer, go off, though. The Sabrina is interesting here. I definitely prefer my Coughing dying to my Weezing dying, but if they low roll, I guess it tempos us in energy. Just like Misty, Tails, and you're done. Speaking of being done. Our 1 of X speed with the Sabrina draw here is up. We are running so hot so far tonight, chat. Both our opponents running bad and our draws being absurd. This Licky Tongue could run equally hot back and end up putting us in a box in the ground. But we are very favored from this position. But that's not to say that the opponent is down and out. If Licky Tongue gives enough head, it's gonna finish me. Is all I can say about our position in this game. Did I just kill my chance of doing official Pokemon commentary with that line? We might have. We might have. But I would like the record to reflect I didn't design the card. Got some tail here. Alright, I think we start building up the Grimer just in case. But with the quarter popping off here, I think we're done here in game 1. The opponent is just like running ice cold at this point. So again, the way the structure of the rounds in this tournament work, I am done playing my Arbok deck, and I have to beat either of our opponent's decks with the Executor Greninja deck that I've submitted. We each have to win with both of our decks to win the round. Keliosaurus can resubmit this fighting deck, or they can switch to Pikachu, but they're gonna have to beat my Greninja deck twice to win now. This is a good matchup to win, I agree. Especially because, Executor has type advantage over Cubone. I respect you admitting when you got lucky. I mean, anybody who wins any tournament got lucky to do so. I think I've also played well. I've made good sequencing decisions, but we are only in the incredibly commanding position that we're in because my good plays have been paired with good fortune. Let's toggle this off so nobody sees our matchmaking code here. I truly appreciate you playing fast when the game is clear. Yeah, I play very quickly, sometimes to my own detriment. So Keliosaurus is the option to change decks here. Let's see if they do. We'll find out at the Q screen. We are going first. We want Grass Energy, Execute Executor. We have the Execute Executor, but we have Grass Energy. They are on the Pikachu deck. We see Lightning Energy in their prep zone. The first energy advantage is big for the Pikachu deck. Notable tech cards here for the opponent. 1 Giovanni, 2 Potion, 2 X Speed, 2 Sabrina. No red card to play around. Let's go fishing for a friend here. Ideally, there is a Grass Energy under this this Water Energy for us. 2 color decks, random every turn. Which of the 2 energies you get? This is definitely a matchup where I wish the Farfetch'd were Kangaskhan's. Frogadair and Executor in hand are both pretty solid for us. They're putting energy on Zapdos to start. That's interesting. I feel like if that was their plan, I probably should have led on it. I am happy that they'll have to burn an X-Speed or not get an attack in here, though. Are bricking on our second type of energy here, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. No compelling reason to evolve into this right away. I think we just vibe. Electrode has a free retreat, so they get to pivot into the Zapdos here. They missed 1 attack for 20, though. Which, missing 1 attack for 20 is a relevant breakpoint. Oh, they're not building towards... They're not building towards the 3 energy attack on Zapdos. Interesting. Thundering Hurricane. Greninja? That could be a Greninja. There's a water energy underneath. That's lovely. Or grass energy underneath is lovely. There's a Greninja. Okay, okay. So you're saying there's a chance. They're on 1 copy of Giovanni. So I do want to evolve this turn. We'll go ahead and put this energy on here, and then we're going to start poking with the frog here. No attacks. Our starting energy not cooperating here. We missed a bunch of damage just by the virtue of 2-color decks being a little high variance. Their start isn't amazing either, though. No Pikachu EX or other bench Pokemon to start, so we'll see how our kind of clunkier draws line up into each other here, basically. All Pokemon abilities can be used from the bench unless stated otherwise, so Greninja can be used from anywhere. I think Victory Bell is a good example of a Pokemon ability that has to be used from the active spot. But most of them are from anywhere. Weezing has to be active as well. Yeah, good show. Ooh, I was thinking about Sabrina-ing them anyways, because Executor flipping a heads plus... Oh, do they have a Sabrina? They might be trying to charm my duck. I think this is good for me. Because my Greninja puts the Electrode down in 1, and then it lives a hit from the Zapdos, and I can retreat back to the Executor. Another Execute is lovely. As is another Froakie. The Water Shuriken does 20. Miss Slash does 60. 1 knockout point for either side. Although, again, it's notable that I don't have any EX Pokemon queued up. So they're gonna have to chew through 2 more Pokemon on my side. Whereas if I knock out the Zapdos EX, the game is done. The Zapdos EX is worth 2 knockout points. If we remember back to the very first turn of the game, where Keliosaurus did not lead on Zapdos, so they missed 20 points of damage. That could be relevant here, because my Executor being at 110 instead of 90 means that Thundering Hurricane has to hit 3 heads instead of just the average of 2. So that choice that our opponent made at the very start of the game could be relevant to come back and haunt them here. And that's something that people don't think about enough of the time in games like Pokemon Pocket, is how often your decisions can snowball, where the thing that maybe puts you ultimately on the back foot was a decision you made very early. Too often, people focus on, well, what choices did I make in the final turns and did I mess up? But a lot of the times, your choices, starting on the very first, even setup part of the game where you start with your Pokemon, can have a cascading effect. Opponent has played no potions, 1 X-Speed, 1 Sabrina. So they do have, there's 1 potion. They have 2 potions in their deck here still. They have another Sabrina. So Thundering Hurricane could swing high here. Keliosaurus has some cumulative variance built up here. Their Lickitung would not cooperate. They are assuredly owed some heads. Their one of Giovanni here is big. Although, actually, they're just dead on board with this attack, right? They actually lose the game guaranteed if this hits. If they get 2 heads, the game is over, because I have Greninja ready to go. They actually only get another turn because they didn't kill my egg. I could hit a heads here. But that brick was technically fortunate for them. It gives them another turn. All right, we're done. We're done. Julio. That's a 2-0. That's a 2-0 sweep for us. Both of us off to pretty clunky starts that set. Us ultimately able to recover on the back of Greninja. I think that game showed why I like the Greninja deck a lot. Even if your energy isn't perfect, you can still get to, like, play an actual game. Alright, let's run a Twitch ad, and I'm going to set up Spectating, one of the other games that's hopefully still going on. There were 3 other people playing this round. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. Take a look here. Kerr has won. Eggs and Yomas are playing. We'll put Yomas as the primary. God, YouTube's player is bugging out on me. Oh my gosh, YouTube, just play the game. I think this match is kind of tough for the Dark deck side. Eggs won round 1 with her Dragonite deck, is what I saw reported. I'm gonna see if I can get Egg's side up here. Eggs' hand a little bit. Thank you for the subs and resubs while you've been going, by the way. Bo Ganny, thank you for the entire year. I appreciate it. Okay, so where are we at in this game? Phil is on 1 knockout point. Eggs is on 0. Eggs is up 1-0 in the round altogether. We're bricking on our center stage Ivysaur on Yomas' side, but we've got a pretty healthy Executor EX in the front line here. I feel like red card is already bad, but an open decklist is even worse. So, red card is interesting in open decklist because how I play the game when I know my opponent has a red card versus not is different. So the existence of a red card in my opponent's deck at open decklist definitely makes me sequence some things differently and give up some information that I otherwise wouldn't have to give up. Is like noteworthy. Eggs has already played her energy here, so the Muck is not attacking. So we could put up anything here and just retreat it back the following turn. One of the things about being on Yomas' side here is that Eggs' deck is completely a 1 knockout point deck, meaning that Yomas is going to have to knock out 3 full Pokemon here. I think they said it's 1-1 on the base. Did I miss it? Oh, yeah, Yomas 1 match. I apologize. This is game 3. Thank you for the correction. I think Yobus, especially with the Ivysaur draw, is favored at this point, but we'll see how it goes. I did win round 2. I'll be playing Raven in the semifinals. That is a solid heads here for Yobus. What is Eggs' line to victory here? So Eggs, I don't know that Eggs has a line from here, honestly. They can Koga back the buck to not take the knockout, but you're giving up 2 energy to Koga back the buck. They have no Wheezing in the back line to get attacking with, and even if Eggs somehow gets past the seemingly insurmountable Execute EX, there is a Venusaur EX waiting in the wings on Yomas' side to go ahead and end the game. Venusaur notably one-hit KOs Arbok, and it chews through most of the other stuff. Unless you have Muck set up very early, Venusaur is a really tough matchup. See how much the stream's a little bit behind, it looks like. Am I fully here? Player will figure it out eventually. I think we're inside of garbage time at this point. We'll see how we navigate. There will be 2 semifinal rounds and then a finals. They're gonna play the semifinals staggered. I will be the first semifinal. So once this game finishes, I will be playing Raven. If I recall correctly, Raven is playing Wheezing Arbok without a Muck. And Raven is playing Wheezing Arbok without a Muck and a Starmie deck. Starmie Articuno. Misty Cheese. A lot of people play very, let's say, deliberately while playing in tournament settings. Yeah, Eggs accident. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the deck lists here for my opponent. Oh, it's not Articuno cheese. I actually like Raven's list a lot. So Starmie EX is really solid, and Golduck is another good 2 energy attacker. And they're playing 2 Misties just so they can be more aggressive more consistently, but their deck is set up so they are not just hit on Misty or die. Like, they are a good, we attach 2 energies and we have good attackers, and then also we could, like, get attacking a turn earlier on the back of Misty. Yeah, regular Articuno is interesting. 3 energy attack, flips a coin to paralyze and deal 60. Yeah, still has Misty High Roll available to them. I imagine we'll be good to start here momentarily, though, because they told us we're going to be the first one. This was the bracket going into the last round, so I beat Keliosaurus, Raven beat Zombie, Yobus beat Eggs, and Captain Kerr beat Ursi. They will not be playing simultaneously here, so I'm going to play Raven, and then Yobus will play Captain Kerr afterwards. We are 2-0 in the semis. It's a single elimination. Loader up. My second. They are starting on their water deck. I am starting on an execute without a grass energy. No second basic here for us. If they have a Misty high roll, we could lose this game real fast. Misty would never, right? We have no Pokeball, no Professor's Research. Nowhere to go. No Misty here. Means we have a real shot to play a real game. Ideally, we find a character that wants a water energy here. No grass energy, second one down either. We could get Misty this turn still. We could see Misty, Starmie, and then the game basically be done on the spot. We could see Starmie, Golduck, Misty. Interesting. And this is, like I said, we've had pretty fortunate variants so far this tournament. There's notably no X speeds in my opponent's list, but Starmie is kind of like a free X speed. I'm gonna go ahead and retreat back here, but there's a good chance this game is functionally over at this point. We both are bricking on grass energy and bricking on Froakie, and you can't have both of those happen. This is best of 3, so even if we brick off here, we're not just done this round. We'll have a chance to fight back, but this one's looking pretty grim. Interesting. I am genuinely very surprised. I'm genuinely very surprised they didn't just knock us out this turn. I have a 4th energy in a row that's not a grass. And I still don't have a Froakie. At this point, there is a good chance that there is a Sabrina in my opponent's hand. They have 2 Sabrinas in their deck. So there is a good chance, even if I draw the Froakie, we are still dead here. This is definitely a spot where if the duck had been Kangaskhan, we'd have been a little bit better off, but probably still dead. All right, we got to try and beat their coughing, wheezing deck twice now. So they have to change. I have the option to change. Alright, once more into the breach. Those games are just gonna happen, chat. You're gonna have non-games that don't break your way. Just gotta take your lumps. Going second, I think, is actually not ideal here. They are a wheezing deck. Opponent has one red card as well, so not having two basics to open. Making red card is down to 3 here. Notable that Froakie and Frogadair both attack on a colorless energy. And that Greninja attacks on a water and a colorless. Execute's a great pickup. There is one Giovanni in my opponent's deck. I am going to play around wheezing Giovanni by playing the Sabrina here. They are on 0 copies of X speed. So with 0 copies of X speed, they deterministically cannot knock out my Execute next turn now because of this Sabrina. So I am playing this turn because I want to not get knocked out by a Giovanni wheezing. They have 1 copy of Giovanni. This is gonna tempo us at energy, but that's like not too big of a deal. Our deck is not super energy hungry. We just need the right colors, which we don't need water till late. We hit the grass early. I'm kind of surprised to see them use Sabrina for tempo here. Sabrina's such a good tool in their Arbok deck. The far-fetched insulating our Froakie against another Sabrina into the Arbok is nice. Hopefully we find a Frogadair before long here. Hey, good games, Keliosaurus. I was very fortunate, and none of your things cooperated. Your draw was awkward. Your coins were just like savage. Are you retreating here? That means they're not attacking this turn, right? So they're just gonna like... Trading an energy for 20 points is interesting. Research was the best draw in our deck by a very significant margin. Can we find a Frogadair? We cannot. With a Froakie already in play and the Executor EX queued up here, I think I want to not play the Froakie out to the bench because I would like to be able to draw another Execute and put out Executor EX to the bench. So that's our first knockout point. Notably, the opponent's deck does not have any EX Pokemon in it, so we're going to need to take 2 more down in order to win this. I guess getting the 20 points of damage with the Arbok last turn means, or the Ekans last turn means that this Arbok guaranteed puts me down in 2. A pretty big coin flip here is going to be next turn, because if I hit heads on the Executor next turn, the Farfetch can finish for 40. They know I'm not playing Potion, so they know the setup is good. Man, no Execute, no Frogadair. We might be on life support now, gamers. Yeah, we missed on this coin flip too. I think it's our time for our variants to come a-calling. If I would have hit the Greninja or the Executor on time, we would have had a shot here, but I think the writing's on the wall at this point. I suppose I can find a Frogadair next turn, potentially, and have a shot still. We need Frogadair execute. I'm playing out my bench to insulate us against their second copy of Sabrina. We have a grass energy on top, so this Executor EX is going to have a chance. We'll put the water energy on the Froakie just in case we don't see another one of those before Greninja is up. They have another potion in their deck. They have 2 potions in their deck here. Two potions still dies to the Executor EX in 1. Which is noteworthy here. We're not favored at this point, but I have a line. But I need to draw the Frogadair, so that way I'm less bad if I flip Tails and they... If we flip Tails and don't draw Frogadair, we die to second Sabrina. Frogadair is 1 and 3. This is another spot where if the Farfetch... I think I'm going to switch the Farfetch to Kangaskhan in this deck. I think the duck is just not good enough. All right, if we had heads here, we have a line. All right, we flipped Tails. Do they have their second Sabrina in 14 cards? Very likely. They're in the tank. So maybe they don't have it? They don't have it. All right, we're playing a game. %. Draw Frogadair. And they have a red card. But at this point, our deck is so small, it doesn't matter. They haven't played any Kogas, right? None. Are we dead to Koga? I think we might be dead to Koga because of the Arbok. So the Arbok does 60... Oh wait, they're not putting the Arbok up? Not putting the Arbok up seems like a mistake. I think they messed up here. I think they are absolutely supposed to put Arbok up there. I think they needed to lock this Executor EX in place. They gave us an inch. Can we take a mile? They have a Sabrina left, but I have Frogadair and I have the other Greninja teed up. They have another Koga almost assuredly though as well. The Koga. This puts us to 50. Let's see if they replay the coughing. Replaying the coughing is a mistake. Because it plays into my second copy of Sabrina they know I have. There's only one card in my deck. They know deterministically I have second copy of Sabrina. They should not play coughing back out. I'm dead, yeah? They have Giovanni. We're so close to recovering from our bad start. Oh yeah, they don't even need the Giovanni, yeah? Yeah, we can't retreat here because of the Arbok. Well played. Raven played that really well. We had really, really bad variants, but Raven didn't give us much room to... Raven didn't give us much room there. Yeah, I needed Greninja sooner, right? We needed the Frogadair sooner. The Frogadair never showed up. Really wish we had a Switch supporter. I do not. I think Switch supporter would be really bad for the game. All right, I'm having fun. Let's cast the second semifinal here. I'm gonna roll a Twitch ad while they get that queued up, but we're gonna watch the second semifinal with some commentary over the top. What's going on, Jakey Bakey?
Looking at decks.
We are playing a tournament. I just lost, but I finished in the top 4. So we're gonna watch 2 other people play the next round here. So we're gonna have Yobus versus Captain Kerr.
What was your deck you did?
Hey buddy, I love you, but this is a special event right now, so Daddy's got a lot going on, so I can't focus on you and us, okay? So you are welcome to hang out, but I won't be able to engage, okay?
So just be quiet and just watch.
Yeah, if you want to hang out and chill and watch the games while Dad talks about them, that is welcome. But Dad's gotta focus a little bit, okay? Second player's hand here. They'll be queuing up momentarily. So Captain Kerr is playing Dark Wiggly and Pikachu EX, and Yobus is playing Venusaur and Articuno Cheese here. And we'll get to see them from the start. So coin flip goes to Yobus. Let's see what deck they're starting. They're starting on the water deck. The Articuno deck loves to go first. So we see a Misty there. This game might be over like that with Misty. I do think the Pikachu EX matchup is tough for both of Yobus's decks. So getting a free roll here with a Misty obviously would be incredible for them. You see Yobus, he knows. He sat up in his chair as soon as he drew his opening hand. He was like, oh baby, this is the one. He perked right on up. It was like, let's do it. We see Kerr sitting here deliberating over which one they want to start on. It doesn't matter which one you start on, but if this Misty pops off, we're gonna be done here. So Misty, easily the highest variance card in Pokemon Pocket. You flip a coin until you get a Tails. And you get a water energy for everyone. I love the grin on Yomos's face. He knows what he is about to do, and it is not about to be kind. Unlucky. Yep, caught with your hand in the cookie jar. Misty's like, nope, we're gonna play a real game. And by play a real game, I mean when Yomos bricks on that Misty flip, we're done. I think we're in garbage time. I think that's actually a we're in garbage time flip. I think the Pikachu EX deck has one thing. We're gonna like go through some motions, and it's gonna take like 3 or 4 turns for us to finish this up. But the writing is on the wall here after the first. We could draw. That's fair. That's fair. If we drew second Misty, that would have maybe given us a shot. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring back the garbage time emote. Although when I play on the ladder, there's not a lot of garbage time. The only reason we're witnessing this garbage time is because this is a tournament setting and people aren't conceding. For people who are newer to card games, you're not familiar with what I mean when I say garbage time. I mean, this game is effectively over. I think it's incredibly unlikely that Yomos can win, but it's going to take a few turns of gameplay for the Pikachu EX deck to actually win the game. Let's see if Yomos is in tune enough to know he shouldn't red card here. You should basically never red card the Pikachu deck before they have a full bench. Red carding Pikachu while they haven't filled their bench up yet is a mistake, I think. The potion is interesting here. Nope, we're just throwing it out. Average red card gamer. So, the potion is a card you want to save for when it's going to save you from a break point. And adding 20 extra HP to this Articuno here doesn't change the clock at all. And you see exactly what I'm talking about here, why you don't want to red card the Pikachu deck before they fill their bench. Yomos has drawn Captain Kerr into the extra basics that allow Pikachu EX to hit harder here. Red card. Red card is an incredibly high variance endeavor that can often make your opponent's draw better. We're seeing exactly that play out here now. Senpai, thank you for the 20 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. You see Captain going through some plays here. I'm just trying to make sure they don't mess it up, but there's not a wrong way to eat this recess. Now the background music is a little weird, I agree. Oh yeah, there's multiple red cards this Articuno deck. Forgot about that. I guess, like, we're building up the second Articuno, but there's no way it ever powers through the Pikachu and friends, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if Yomos has any background in card games before Pocket. You know, he does MOBA content, Pokemon Unite, and some other MOBA games before this. I assume we're just gonna get Pikachu EX up here and just start crack-a-lacking, right? So, you want to think how the turns play out in a spot like this. So you retreat to Pikachu EX knocks out Articuno, you get 2 knockout points. The Articuno puts your Pikachu EX to 40, it passes back to you. You put an energy on your Pikachu EX on the bench. You crack them for 110 down to 30. They knock out your Pikachu. You put up your second Pikachu with a second energy and take the win. So Kerr is going to take a second here and think through those permutations. But I assume we're going to see the Blitzel retreat, the second Pikachu go up here. And this is that writing on the walls where the game is over, but we're still playing through the motions here that I was talking about earlier. And this is a lot of the skill in parsing games of Pokemon Pocket comes from reading what's on the board and understanding how the turns are going to play out over the course of the turns. This game is very chess adjacent in that a lot of the information is face up, and you need to be reading what your opponent's lines are over the following turns and which ones you can deterministically beat, which ones you can't deterministically beat, and which one you need to hope for percentage plays to break your way in the middle. And that's one of the reasons why coin flips on one of the reasons why coin flips on Pokemon Pocket cards are so key for keeping the game fresh is coin flips on the card make it so the board state isn't deterministic and there's uncertainty to play around. Without Kangaskhan's and Marowaks and Executors, the board becomes very deterministic very quickly. Not gonna lie, I'm getting good commentary. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We're gonna cast this in the finals for sure. I'm having fun doing commentary. For people that are familiar with me, in addition to playing games for forever, I've done commentary for Magic the Gathering, official Pokemon Unite tournaments. I broadcast with Riot Games on some of their early Runeterra tournaments when I was playing that game. So in addition to being very analytical and having a lot of card game background, doing some play-by-play here is inside of my wheelhouse in addition to analysis. Usually I'm not play-by-play. I'm color commentary, pointing out the details. Giovanni here basically doesn't matter. We're just taking game actions to take game actions. We're seeing this play out exactly as I described 2 turns ago. The Pikachu takes the hit. The Articuno knocks out the Pikachu and takes 2 points. The other Pikachu comes up and finishes us off. This Articuno EX deck is basically a pure gimmick that only works when you flip heads on a Misty. The structure of this tournament, you need to win with both of your decks over the course of the rounds. So the Captain Kerr is going to have to win 1 game with their Dark Wiggly deck they have as their second, whereas Yobis is going to have to beat Dark Wiggly with both Articuno and their Venusaur deck. As more cards come out, will games be less predetermined? I don't think there's a lot of predetermined games as is. I think this Articuno EX deck generates objectively bad games of Pokemon Pocket that are essentially auto-decided or not based on how your Misty flips go. I think it is a bad showcase of the depth and strategy Pocket has in it. But if you are interested in cheesing people out, there's a deck for you. Mech Charizard, thanks for that Prime support. That direct supports are a big part of why I'm able to do what I do here as my job, and I appreciate it. The shrug in the background made great time. Yobis is a good strategy game player. They fully understand what they showed up to do in this tournament. Like they know what their deck is doing, and they know what needs to break their way in order for it to be functional. Well, so I'll be curious to see if Yobis gives us a potentially quick game 2 or if we're going to grind it out. So Kerr has to change to the Dark Wiggly deck. Yobis optionally can change to Venusaur, but Yobis is going to have to win with Articuno. You have to win with both decks to win the round. And you're going to have to win with both. So we're on the Articuno deck again here. We have no Misty in the opener, but we do have first energy advantage on Yobis' side. I think first energy advantage typically isn't enough. Good start from Captain Kerr here. You always want to begin on a coughing, but notably no wheezing for them yet. Been lurking in the stream since I found your channel 2 days ago. Great streamer, man. Thanks, Mac. Good to have you around. So, the hand scope here with the red card is perfect. Hand scope lets Yobis know deterministically there is no wheezing. I think that hands off is like, we're not red carding here. No wheezing, no problem. You can stay bricked. One of the few ways to make red card not just be incredibly embarrassing, get to see your opponent's hand and make a choice beforehand. I don't believe there is a red card in the Wiggly deck. So you'll see Yobis making a heads-up play here of not playing the second Articuno out because there are copies of Sabrina inside of Captain Kerr's deck. So Yobis is electing to play around Sabrina by not deploying the second Articuno they have to the board. Because Articuno has a retreat cost of 2, so if you play that out and you get Sabrina, you are infinitely behind. Yeah, they know the Sabrina is deterministically in hand with the hand scope as well. With no wheezing, this Articuno might solo this game. Articuno with energy advantage and no Misty and a slow start from Captain Kerr means we could get a real game out of this. I don't love Yobis' use of potion so far. He keeps just playing it out when his cards are hurt and not saving it for breakpoints that could matter. He's giving up information that he doesn't have to give up ahead of time, letting Captain Kerr make better decisions. There's no upside to that potion there, and it gives away context of what's in your hand. This X speed is weird because the coughing you're switching into is still dying in 1 to the Blizzard. So again, to talk about, like, Captain Kerr is on the back foot here, but this play is not good. We are not making the best of our misfortune on Captain Kerr's side here. The Misty is an interesting choice here on the Yobis side, because on one side, you want to play your supporter ASAP, so this encourages you to play the Articuno out, but if you low roll with the Misty, you get tempoed by the Sabrina you know is there, and then you can't push the advantage you have in this game. So I really like Yomis' decision at this juncture to just keep that Articuno in hand and keep Misty up. While you are welcome to be constructive in a critical and a constructive and specific manner, like I am here when I call out things that I think are mistakes from one of these players, you are not welcome to just generally insult the people I am broadcasting matches from on my stream. There is a stark difference between constructive pointed criticism and just being a dillhole. Take a 10-minute break. You'll note that every time I'm saying I think one of these players made a mistake, I am going on to articulate why I think they could be doing what I think they could be doing better and why. Players make lots of mistakes while playing the game, myself included. It is fine and reasonable to point them out. We're going to a game 3 here. Yobis getting a win there without the Misty is a big deal. I think this matchup is hard. I think this matchup is hard for the Wiggly deck. I would if I were looking at these deck lists heads up in front of me, I would say the Venusaur deck is favored here. Obviously, card game variance could break either way. Captain Kerr, neither player has an ideal start here. No Executor for Yobis and no coughing for what's his name. Here's a red card. I hate the turn 1 red card in spots like this. I hope Captain Kerr draws a coughing. That's a Pokeball, and we redrew the Weezing, so decent odds we find a coughing here on Kerr's side. I hope Kerr hits the coughing and punishes this red card. We redrew the Research too on Kerr's side as well. I think this game's being a clean example of why red card tends to not be a great card. All right, that's a brick on the Wigglypoof, on the coughing. Can we find it with the Research here? Can we punish the red card? There's the red card punish. Yeah, dab on him, Jacob. Dab on the red card. Red card deserves to be dabbed on. I don't believe Captain Kerr has a regular Wiggly in their deck. I think they're all in on Wiggly EX. Let me look here. Oh, they do have a regular Wiggly. Love the regular Wiggly EX split here. Regular Wiggly cracks for 60 for 2 energy. I like researching here before we attach the energy, because if we research, this is Yobis stopping to check if there's a regular Wiggly, I bet. Like I just did. We could find X speed. I agree with the commentary from chat that only having 1 EX Wiggly makes this matchup harder in general. When I've worked on this Weezing Wiggly deck, I really like 2 EX Wiggly and one regular. Do you see this game having long-term success? I think Pokemon Pocket is going to make a massive pile of money and be here for many, many years. It is both a very good, mechanically good card game, while also being a ton of fun and having a lot of depth. Sabrina's an interesting choice here. Because we get, and this is another reason why giving them the coughing kind of sucks here. Whoop, why is my stream freezing, Twitch? Apologies. I think they knew exactly what they were doing when they designed this game. It's very carefully crafted. This start is really good for Captain Kerr. Like I said, I think Yobis is favored here, but the way this game is playing out, I would put an advantage bar in Captain Kerr's direction firmly at this point. They should buff red card. I think it's good that red card is embarrassing and bad. I think effects like red card being good make for really toxic and unfun gameplay. Now, on Captain Kerr's side here, I think you give up your active slot here and you put an energy on this bench Bulbasaur. Yeah, I think you have both full lines. I evolve this Ivysaur up front and I start putting energy on the one in the back. Yeah, I love this pivot. This heals the poison. It kicks you up to 100 HP, which is just like infinite HP. This gives you time to set up Venusaur in the back line here. Venusaur EX going to do its best Snorlax impersonation here and just soak hits from this Weezing. The Sabrina top deck is interesting here because on Yobus's side, you kinda don't care. You've got one energy on both of these things. If we switch up the Bulbasaur to the active and that one starts taking hits, it's mostly the same. The pause on the Erica is like, okay, do I want to buy more time with this Venusaur EX or build up the pro? I like sticking to the plan here. Venusaur heals for 50. Erica heals for 50. Venusaur's big attack heals for 30. Without a Wiggly EX, it's going to be very difficult to get through the second Venusaur. In fact, I would go so far as to say if I'm on Yobus' side, I'm not playing out any more Pokemon this game. We are just purely chunking through and then trying to solo the entire Wiggly Dark deck with the Venusaur in the back. Venusaur EX has very polarized matchup tables. It is a deck / card that is very good against the decks that it's very good against, and it has unwinnable matchups into things like Charizard. Let's turn this off auto and leave it on source. I think the pause for the cause here is them waiting to see, do they want to wait to evolve? I don't think you wait to evolve. Well, I guess they can't Sabrina and Koga. The upside to waiting to evolve here is if they Sabrina up your Ivysaur, evolving to Venusaur heals the poison, which would be good. It saves you damage in the long run. And I don't think there is a combination of cards that let them Sabrina and kill the Ivysaur this turn. So I think there's a chance Yobis was supposed to not evolve there. It probably doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I think there's merit to not evolving in that spot. But it's close. I'd have to double check Kerr's list, but I'm pretty sure there's no combination of cards that punishes not evolving there, and not evolving has the upside of clearing the poison from the poison gas. Oh, is there a red card on Captain Kerr's side? I don't believe so. Oh, Captain Kerr does have a red card. I don't think they've used it. Okay. The existence of red card makes evolving stellar here. Rescind. The upside is minimal and the downside is high. Evolving is good. Yes, I think Venusaur struggles against the 3 big decks in Pokemon Pocket right now. It struggles into Pikachu, it struggles into Charizard, it struggles into Mewtwo. It is an excellent pub stomper, though. Everything that's not the big 3 decks basically just can't keep up with Venusaur. Alakazam is okay into Venusaur. That's a good take. Okay, I'll call it okay. We're putting a 4th energy on Wiggly EX. Yeah, I guess that's fair, in case you need to retreat. And on Yobus' side here, I would expect even if we draw an Execute, we're never playing it. And honestly, given the presence of... I think rushing to the Wiggly EX is interesting as well. I'm not sure I love that play from Captain Kerr. I think given the fact that we're never playing an Execute out, I might just burn the X speed to play around red card. We see him thinking about that. Because if they red card you, you want to be as likely as possible to redraw your 2 Ericas, one of your 2 Ericas. So Wiggly EX cracks for 80 and then puts to sleep here. So we'll see. Captain Kerr could win 2 coin flips in a row. We're gonna see them elect to X speed instead. Yep, we're gonna see. I like this. I think your line to victory here from Captain Kerr's side is you want to set it up so you only need to win 1 sleep coin flip to beat the Venusaur. I don't think Captain Kerr is gonna be able to get out of a coin flip. I think they're gonna have to win at least 1 sleep flip to get this Venusaur off the board. One of the big question marks, and again, this is why I think we should burn the X speed here on Yobus' side. I think these Ericas are going to be instrumental in saving this Venusaur this game, and I want to make sure. Okay, let's see if we play around the Sabrina. What level is Yobus playing at here? We finally drew the Execute. There's 2 knockout points on Captain Kerr's side. Okay, cool. Yeah, Yobus is playing at a top level here. We know our line to victory is we are all in on Daddy Plant Dino. The eggs are thoroughly scrambled at this point. They are not going to be involved in the rest of this game. We have another Koga in hand from Captain Kerr, but that is just tire spinning at this point, right? We are not making real inroads on dealing damage to this Weezing. We put the energy on the Jigglypuff because eventually we're going to draw the other Wigglypuff and be able to crack for 60. But our line here, I assume, is Koga, put the coughing up to sacrifice it, replay the other coughing. It's too early to start going for Wiggly sleep flips, I think. They played the X speed because there is 1 red card inside of the Dark Wiggly deck, and you want to get rid of the X speed so that way if you get red carded, you are more likely to redraw. You are more likely to redraw the what's it called? Interesting that we're electing to let the Jigglypuff die. I guess the upside to the coughings is that the coughings take a hit from Giant Bloom is noteworthy. Yobus is not on a Giovanni, which is heads up information. So the Venusaur is never killing a Weezing in 1. So we should play the Pokeball here, the same reason we played the X speed. We missed it. Okay, yeah, this is I think Yobus has played this game almost perfectly, but I think this not burning the Pokeball into a potential red card is our first mistake. I think both of these players have played pretty well, and they both had awkward openers. Yobus has made really good time. And here's the red card. I don't know that it's enough. But this is the card that could push us out of the Ericas. So, not playing the Pokeball means there's 1 more. The only cards in Yobus's deck that have a text box right now are Erica. When we get red carded, every card in our deck that we can draw that's not Erica is bad. I think we're getting the execute doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, so Yobus comes to the conclusion I came to last turn and is like, the red card is we only need Erica. Might as well attach Sanders. I thought it was fine we weren't putting him on in the previous turns. So there's one card in their deck. I don't know that I love Erica-ing here. I feel like this Erica was a potion. I think you want your Ericas to heal 50. That could cost Phil the game here. We'll see how this plays out. This game is 100% gonna come down to Wiggly flipping heads on its sleep attack. But playing the Erica for 20 healing as opposed to 50 healing is a big deal. Playing the Erica does not really play around red card. It plays around an extremely low roll on red card. But I don't think you should play around low rolls that are that low. Are we gonna Erica again? I would not want to Erica again. And if we're not Erica-ing this turn, we shouldn't have Erica'd last turn. Because again, this attack puts us to 160. And now the Wiggly EX comes up. And if we brick on the sleep and we brick on Erica, we lose. When the deck is empty, nothing happens. You simply don't draw. So having one Erica in 7 cards gives us 1 out in 7 drawing 4, whereas having 2 Ericas would give us 2 outs in 8 drawing 4, which is more likely. And this Venusaur would be at more total HP over the course of it. So Wheezing cracks for 30. The red card feels early here. I'm not sure why we would red card this turn. We are not incentivized to Erica next turn. So now the decision from Captain Kerr has given Yobus an extra card draw to draw. Yobus now has 5 cards out of 7 instead of 4. That being said, we've bricked so far, so this game's gonna come down to the sleep flip followed by the 1 and 3. So we have a 50. Excuse me? Oh my God, Kerr threw! He threw! No! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, he threw! Oh man! We are diddity done. You can see it on Phil's face. Phil is like, what happened? There was supposed to be a coin flip, and there was supposed to be a draw 1 and 3, and we bricked on the 1 and 3. All right, Phil's gonna play Raven in the finals here. All right, let's do it, huh? Grab our next one here. Raven on the other side. Let me grab some deck lists here. Here's Phil's deck list. I have Ravens up here, so actually played into Raven. Yeah, here's Ravens. I like Ravens lineup a lot, actually. I think both of Ravens decks are excellent. I favor playing Muck Grimer inside of the Wheezing Arbok deck, but Wheezing Arbok is really solid. And I honestly love this build of Misty here. I think this build of Misty is great. Have you thought of playing 8 tournaments on Limitless? I might have woken up at 5 a.m. this morning to O2 drop a tournament on Limitless. I went 5-3 in a tournament last weekend. I think playing tournaments is a ton of fun, and I expect I'll play in more of them. When I play them, I've been playing them off stream to record for YouTube. If you want to see me play some tournament matches with Greninja Executor on the Pocket YouTube from last weekend, there was some tournament rounds up there with good commentary. What was the point of playing the second Weezing into the other one? Dealing 30 to Vito after healing 30 doesn't matter. Putting the Weezing up gets you 2 rounds of poison. So you're dealing 50 per turn cycle with the Weezing into heal 30. So you're adding 20. Pocket is incredibly accessible to new players. They did an awesome job of having it being great to onboard with. Jacob's been playing a ton of Pokemon Pocket. He's quite the little deck builder. I've been appreciating the backup dabs. You're great. I think I'm gonna have to have a professional mime in all my commentary moving forward.
So like, I built like a deck 3. It's not like good, but I think it's pretty okay. I mean, like
Have you tried the Greninja deck with only Grass Energy and Misty? I found it more consistent. I don't think you have room to put Misty in the deck, Trader. Deck slots are really tight. Wondering if I should save pack points for EXs or trade them in for cheaper cards. You should get cards that you would enjoy playing games with, which I know can be tough to figure out without playing them yourselves. I'd recommend checking out some content from people streaming and YouTube videos and stuff to see how decks play out and think which ones might match your play patterns. Michael Kerlouis, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. Appreciate that. If you want my thoughts on some of the best non-EX Pokemon, I've got a roundup on that here. What's the last water poke in the top list? The whole list is on the screen. Psyduck is off to the left here. All right, it looks like we are headed on into the round. We have Yobus with Articuno and Venusaur versus the Dark deck plus Water Misty aggro for Raven. We have the Misty opener, and it's the premium Misty here, chat. Far more likely to flip heads. I absolutely love the grin on Yobus's face every single time he opens on Misty. He's just like a child that is about to stick their hand in the cookie jar and find out if they're gonna get slapped or not. We're done. The game is over. We're done. That is round 1 of our finals. I love the fast movement to the fist pump at the end. Actual perfection. Esports! All right, so the way this works from here is Raven has to beat Venusaur twice, and I think both of Raven's decks have a bad Venusaur matchup. I mentioned when we were looking at deck lists before the round that Raven was choosing not to play Muck Grimer in their Arbok deck. Without a Muck, the Venusaur matchup is almost impossible, speaking as someone who's played the deck. Raven is going to have to get very lucky to get past this Venusaur deck twice, I think. Never 100%. This is a card game. Things could definitely break his way a couple of times. But I think there is a big uphill climb from Raven here. Raven needed the Donk deck to brick at least once for him. I don't think having bench Pokemon mattered in that last game. It does not matter if they have bench Pokemon when they got 3 energies on turn 1. It just doesn't. It didn't matter what deck Raven was playing. You lose 100% of the time to the triple Misty Heads there. This is an ideal opener for Yobus. Yobus would actually prefer to be going first here as opposed to going second. Okay. Okay, are we gonna have a reverse Misty Donk here? If Raven top decks the Starmie EX and this Misty hits on the Staryu, we could scramble this egg before it gets to Yobus is like, oh no, the cookie jar. Look, it's their turn. Oh man, imagine being unlucky in the finals, chat. This is not the stuff champions are made from. Champions are made from 3 Misty Heads finalists, not 0 Misty Heads finalists. This is not where you want to be. If you're on the, I think you need Misties to break your way to have a shot on the water deck side here.
Sometimes you don't.
Really good draws for Yobus here too. We have all of our basics out. I don't think we're in garbage time. But I think it's going to be an uphill climb for Raven from here. Raven has to hit Starmie EX in his next 3 draws to have a shot this game.
It looks like this one time.
We need Starmie EX so we don't just lose this Staryu to Executor EX. 2 more shots. 2 more shots, gamers. Okay. We found backup bench Pokemon. This means our energy goes on the back Staryu, I think. Oh, I don't love the energy on the active one. Yobus doesn't flip tails, Raven. Dear God, man, did you see his Misty in the first game? This is not a man you can count on flipping tails against you. He's about to mess your Staryu up. Oh! Gosh, Yobus is just the unluckiest gamer. Just so unlucky. All right, we got 2 more rifts at the Starmie here. We got 2 more rifts at the Starmie, and the deck's getting small at this point. We are very likely to find Starmie EX on this swing. Whoo, doggy! Raven used up all their good luck when they beat us in the semifinals, chat. There is no more good fortune to be had for Raven. All right, we're actually okay here. We can put an energy on the Staryu or the Psyduck. We draw one of our evolutions next turn. The full art supporters are some of the best pieces of art in this game. They're very good. I hope there are more opportunities for me to do commentary on Pocket in the future. It's just tough because a lot of the community tournaments don't have people casting every round. It is a really fun, unique opportunity that we get to see both perspectives and do full commentary here. This is an interesting retreat to me. We're putting damage on the Articuno and getting rid of the knockout point. I don't know that I love this from Raven's side. If our Misty hits heads next turn and we hit heads on the Paralyze on the Articuno, we might be in a serviceable spot. There's the Ivysaur. The Venusaur's on deck. Raven's gonna get to dance here a little bit, but I think this matchup is just too tough for them. On Yobus' side, I think we're probably supposed to play this Executor out to play around the red card a little bit, but I don't think it matters truly. I think there's a chance Yobus could let Twitch chat play out this game and they'd win at this point.
Well, game over.
Not quite. We're gonna have some dancing and weaving. When this Misty flips tails, we're 100% done, especially with the evolution brick again.
So like, I was about to say, if before they didn't wear heads, in second turn, they could possibly last for long enough or to get the type, but sadly...
Our streams are a little off center here. We got a couple of heads on the Misty.
Let's go!
Okay. Casual 8 energy Articuno. But here's the thing about this. one, we used up all of our heads, so we can't paralyze. Two, I'd feel a lot better about this if the Articuno was healthy, right? Okay, we hit heads. All right, this is how this needs to start for Raven to have a chance. Can't attack, can't retreat for Phil's side. I think Raven was probably supposed to give up the knockout on the Staryu rather than let Articuno take a hit for 80. We'll see. We'll see if Raven gets punished for this, but we'd be in a much better spot if this Articuno was on full. Something that's noteworthy about positioning from here. Golduck goes down in 1 to Venusaur. Starmie EX does not go down in 1. Something that could play out appropriately for Raven. I think Raven's line to victory here might actually involve another paralyzed flip for 1, and then drawing both Starmie EXs to be able to tee up that way. But I'm not even sure that that's going to be enough here with the Ericas in hand. I don't think... Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting.
I feel like I'd be inclined to save the Ericas for my Venusaur. So it's interesting. I guess the upside to this Erica is getting to 130 means Raven has to win 2 more paralyzed flips to avoid getting knocked out. Let me check. Is Raven on... I don't think Raven is on Giovanni. Raven has 1 Giovanni. Oh, it's in his hand. It's in his hand. I'm dumb. I didn't need to look at the necklace. We do have a Giovanni.
Why did he upgrade his Ivysaur to his Venusaur?
So holding the Venusaur lets you hide information, so your opponent doesn't know that you have the evolution yet.
Yeah.
So waiting to play your card lets it be a surprise.
Yeah, but because they've seen the other games, they know the other
So they know it's in his deck, but they don't know it's in his hand.
Okay.
So it hides what's in your hand. There's another paralyzed flip.
Yeah.
Live by the flips, die by the flips here for Mr. Yomas. Oh, this is an interesting choice. There's no reason to put the energy on Executor EX ahead of time. You have the X speed in hand. You can't retreat. Does he not? He might not know that he can't retreat. Oh no. Oh no, he can't retreat. He's asking his chat. It's subscriber only mode. We can't tell him. Someone in chat said, I think you can. Oh no. Oh no, Yomas. No, don't listen to chat, Yomas. They're always wrong. No! Yomas! No! Oh no! Oh, learning game rules in the finals in real time. Oh wait, no, we didn't try. We shouldn't have put the energy on it, because if we get paralyzed next turn, we just lose that energy now.
And that's bad.
I think the energy was not appropriate. Whoo! We have the Giovanni to punish, right?
But
why are we potioning? Why are we potioning?
yeah, do it please.
Why on God's green earth would we potion?
Why?
We wanna not die to eggs, I guess?
Eggs. Scrambled
But
eggs.
we're never putting the egg up here. I guess he's making the assumption that there's not a Venusaur. This potion might be because the Venusaur hasn't been played yet.
Come on.
But so, like, if on Phil's side, if you don't have the Venusaur, the Ivysaur dies in 1 to Starmie EX. So there's a risk. Obviously, we know Phil has the Venusaur, but I think the potion from Raven here is playing around an execute knockout, because there's some fear that, there's some fear from putting the Ivysaur up in the face of that. Now, something that's a little scuffed here is that the Sabrina, this is not like the other game where Phil had an empty bench. Phil has a bunch of Pokemon on his bench, and Sabrina is a real threat. Phil could get punished here for putting that needless second energy onto onto what's it called earlier, the Executor that got knocked out. If Phil had an extra energy on Venusaur or this Executor on his bench, he would be in a better spot to play around Sabrina. But he gave up a resource by putting it onto the Executor that was up that then got knocked out by a Giovanni.
What is going on in his head?
That's what we're talking about, my dude. So here's the Golduck. Golduck is a single knockout point Pokemon. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sabrina happen here because Raven's on 2 points, and notably, Raven is on 2 Sabrinas here. Phil actually needs to draw Ivysaur next turn, or he's going down to double Sabrina the way this is played out. I think Raven might have maneuvered this game into a win to force a game 3. Phil's dead.
Yep, he's a goner. He's
Phil has no lines to beat the second Sabrina.
He is going.
We can not get our bench, and this goes back to Phil played a kind of aggressive Erica earlier. Yeah, but you can't play red card here. You don't know that your opponent. Yeah, the red card in a way cost, or the energy in a way cost him the game, because if Phil had one more energy, he could have knocked out the Golduck with the Venusaur here. He would have still died to top deck Starmie, which is likely, but he wouldn't be dead to just Sabrina had he not made a mistake with that energy earlier. The Sabrina from Phil doesn't matter. Okay, and Phil's mistake ultimately ends up not mattering here because we top deck the Starmie. But I don't think Phil played to his outs appropriately. That's fine. We take a deep breath. We got a game 3 for the finals. The Wheezing Arbok deck also has a tough match into this Venusaur deck. I think Raven played out of his mind this game. Like he took a tough matchup and he did not give an inch. He got fortunate on a couple of paralyzed flips. Regular Articuno was an absolute showstopper this game.
Well,
I think yeah, Articuno shows up as the card of the game for Raven's screen here. It was 100% the card of the game. It was really fantastic. Raven had to get lucky to win that, but he played well enough to put himself in a position to get lucky. I think a worse player can't win 2 flips on Articuno and win that game. I think they lose this game to Phil's draw before they get to that point.
I don't understand what.
So our last round here is going to be Phil playing the Venusaur deck again, and then Raven's going to be playing this deck here.
Oh, that's
which again
awesome.
is not an impossible matchup. This is a card game and there's variants, but no heavy hitters, only dealing 60 a turn at most with Arbok is not a lot of damage against Big Daddy Plant Dino and Erica backing him up.
Big Daddy Plant Dino. Oh, I like that.
This is gonna be Raven's gonna have to both be fortunate and play out of his mind to win this game.
Yep, he has to fight the odds, he has to fight luck, and he has to fight his own
All right, we're going second on Phil's side here, which I think both players got what they wanted here. However, oh my gosh, remember when I said we were gonna have to get lucky? This is the insane start from Raven. They have their one of Giovanni, and they have Wheezing while going first. They get to scramble this egg before it can evolve.
Yes, this egg is scrambling.
This is huge. This is the opener. Raven needs to win this game.
This is the peel to solid.
If you're on Phil's side, you need to draw another execute with this Pokeball to have a shot. You need to win this 50-50 because this first egg's gonna be scrambled. Wait, what? Excuse me?
What?
Hello, Bueller? Is this thing on? I am truly... Maybe we're expecting them to retreat right away? This could be fine if we expect we're just burning an energy and making them retreat right away. However, I think Sabrina's a really important tool in this matchup, and I don't know that I love burning it pro tempora. So people that were looking away, Raven had the guaranteed knockout on Execute on his second turn, and he Sabrina'd the Bulbasaur here. I think this is a gambit that we're pulling Bulbasaur back. I'm curious to see what Phil does here, because Raven has given Phil the option to play around Giovanni. And Phil did not have the option to do that before Raven Sabrina'd here. And in Raven's mind, I'm sure you want to just pressure the Bulbasaur sooner. But if Yobis doesn't want you to pressure the Venusaur, this just buys an energy, which is a turn. You basically, this Sabrina could take that first energy advantage away. If you're on Yobis' side, I think you want to play the other egg out.
Me. Yeah.
This works out perfectly. Are we playing the other egg? Okay. This is bad for Yobis now. The gambit on the side of Raven has paid off. This egg is scrambled. We're forced to push the other Bulbasaur back up because we didn't play out the other Executor. We are big on the back foot here.
It's gonna be a scrambled egg buffet.
Yep, here comes the Giovanni.
Oh, it's a party of ritual
Yep.
scrambled egg.
Yep. I think any game that Raven wins in this matchup has to go like this. It's gotta be quick.
It gotta be
Plant Daddy is unbeatable in the late game. I think we're done here. I think Yobis leveled himself a little bit here to start. He was in a bad spot. I think even perfect play from Yobis. This is gonna be a tough game.
Game over, man. Game over.
I think we're looking at a game over man angle here.
Yeah. And I have to be honest.
This was an absolute maximum payoff for Raven. If Yobis would have played out the second egg last turn, we could maybe be in a serviceable spot. But the fact that we didn't play out the other egg last turn means we are super behind. We're not 0%. We're very low though.
A good deck beats a lot of good decks which are powerful. But a great deck has cards
Okay.
which
We're pulling the Bulbasaur back. We're playing Ivysaur out. There is a red card on Raven's side. So playing our cards out does play around red card a little bit. It makes our retreat cost more. Teenage Dino, a little bit slower. Takes 2 energies to retreat.
Teenage Dino. I like the word.
Koga's a good pickup. Koga lets us get some surprise damage in here, basically.
Ooh, surprise damage. Kablooey.
So we get to go ahead and toggle the poison gas. And then get a tackle in here. And then we evolve the Executor. The Executor will be on 90. Yobis spent his first 2 energy retreating because of Sabrina's and some tough play decisions.
No.
So now a question here is, are we putting energy on the Executor? I don't think you are. I think you're supposed to start building up Plant Dino because Koga means dealing damage to this Weezing does not matter. If I'm on Yobis' side here, I'm evolving and I'm putting an energy on the Venusaur because I think my line to win this game involves. Yep. I don't know. I think that's the final nail in Yobis' coffin. I think Yobis' lines to maneuver out of this game involve not having this set up.
I think some people are going triple check build decks after this.
Triple check? Yep, maybe.
Yeah.
And the tails on the Executor means we don't even have to. And we found the second coughing on Raven's side. Whoa. Holy.
Well.
The second coughing means that after you Koga a Weezing, you could immediately go into another Weezing.
Oh no, they got that other Pokemon which stops you to put you trainers. Oh, you supporters.
Let's see. We got a tackle. We are still got a few turns before Raven can push through here.
Imagine they have a Cobra.
The Executor now dies this turn. I assume we're gonna see Erica on the Executor. I don't think you put the energy on the Executor if you're not planning to Erica it.
And you
That Pokeball is purely to thin the deck. I would be surprised if we see the Bulbasaur hit play. I think if we weren't, and this honestly is why I would have preferred not putting the energy on the Executor. Not only does the Koga blank the damage the Executor is doing, but we wouldn't have to Erica this Executor because we just have 3 energy on Venusaur next turn, and then Plant Daddy gets to start crushing through. Executor does not hit hard enough in this matchup. Yeah, no, Erica here is tough because Executor is dead on board to just the Weezing, and the Venusaur's not attacking next turn because of how we manage our energies this game.
Well,
I think this game is a textbook example in energy management.
Yep, it's a sample of what you shouldn't do.
Yes, it is an example of what you shouldn't do. I think Jacob nailed it.
I think you have to create a video about
Sabrina, I think you Sabrina this turn now, right? I think you throw Big Daddy Plant Dino up. You tap it with Poison. You tap it with Tackle. Next turn, you can Koga back into the Arbok and lock it in play.
It would be cool if it was.
Yeah, Raven's just taking a beat to count and make sure they're not making a mistake in the finals. Fully understand that. Yeah, there's no Giovanni in the Veenu deck. And again, had we simply not put energies on this Executor or played an Execute out earlier, this Venusaur could have been plus 1 or 2 energy this game. But because of decisions that we made in terms of sequencing, Yomis is infinitely behind in tempo, and Raven has played very well and capitalized on being behind on tempo.
What it looks like here is if that Weezing gets like 2 more energies in the next 2 turns.
Well, Koga lets you pick Weezing back up.
Yeah.
He's a ninja, so the Weezing doesn't even need energy. He just gets to back to hand like a ninja.
Yeah, I know, but what if he did it? I didn't know. I didn't know how thin his deck was. I didn't know there was no.
Oh, we drew the red card. And this is one of those spots where, like,
You want the
Yomis doesn't know that we're sitting on Kogas. But, like, they haven't played anything for a while, which makes it more likely. I don't know. If you're Yomis, I don't think you put red card in your deck to not YOLO it here.
I will never put red card.
I think you're supposed to burn the red card, but I've got caster vision and I know you're got. Like, this is just one of the many examples of red card being super mid, because even if your opponent has the Koga, they're super likely to still have the Koga after you red card them. Red card is bad. Stop putting it in your decks, people.
Yeah, if you want it, ask the people.
If you're not red carding here, cut it. And I don't necessarily disagree with not red carding.
If you want red card your deck, you will definitely want this card to have a buff. So ask the people.
Don't ask them to buff red card. Red card is stinky. We don't red card being good is toxic.
Oh yeah, true. If you try to make red card good, put a handicap on it. Because
don't do it. Cards like red card, games like Pokemon Pocket are better when red card is bad.
Yes. Or never even add it in the game or delete it in the first place.
All right, there's another Erica. So we're going to 100. We get Arbok down to 40. We go to 30 from the poison, and then Erica plus our heal puts us back up to 100. There's a chance Yomis can still win this game, which feels insane given how it's played out.
Imagine he got.
So no, for the people saying no heal this turn, I'm counting 2 turns, gamers. You need to think 2 turns ahead. Listen to my words. We attack for 60. We go to 100. We then take 60 from Arbok and go to 40. We then go to 30 from Poison, and then we heal 80 back up to 110 and then back down to 100 the following turn.
What my dad's saying is we have to.
You have to think 2, 3, 4 turns ahead how these things play out to play this game and understand where you're at in your matchups.
AK 5-dimensional chess.
5-dimensional. You gotta be playing 5D chess, gamers.
Yeah.
And this is, again, hammering in those early tempo plays where they cost Yobis. Yobis could have been healing 30 this turn. If Yobis healed 30 this turn, this game was over and Raven could never win. But because Yobis missed on tempo early, Raven's got a real shot here.
After you have to
The
play
key here from Raven's side is they need to get second Arbok online ASAP. Wheezing is not enough damage to power through Daddy Dino here.
You have to play.
Raven, and this is again like red card. Like, do you red card? Red card's good with caster vision because we know they have Erica.
Yeah.
But like, if they don't have Erica, you could very easily be drawing them into the Erica.
Yeah, it's like
It's literally a no upside play. It's statistically incredible. It's like it's when you look at a spot like this with red card, it's just like, why is it in your deck? Why isn't this red card an X speed or a potion or a Giovanni or literally any other card that has a freaking text box?
Hey, even a Misty because builds colorless energy.
Misty only works on water Pokemon though. Good try.
Yeah, but it would be funny.
So this is that turn we see play out. So we see the heal 80 from Yobis. We're down to 100. We need Arbok this turn from Raven's side. That's not an Arbok, gamers. That's not an Arbok. We have Koga to buy a turn, and it is noteworthy that Phil burned their other early. Their other Erica got burned early. There is no more healing inside of the Venusaur deck. Wait, do we get to Sabrina this turn though, right? And take our second knockout point? Is Phil on 2 Sabrinas?
He's still in this tournament because he has
Phil's only on 1 Sabrina.
Is that the guy who
I like the evolution here. I think you Sabrina and take a knockout. It's close though. I don't feel strongly about Sabrina either way. I guess if they don't have the second Koga, not Sabrina is good. We're going to 80. The Arbok is not quite lethal. The Arbok Koga is 10 short here. The problem is the plant dino here in the back is set up now.
It's called Venusaur.
Yep, and again, just the entirety of this game Raven is only in it because of the rough. No, we're just done, right? Because Arbok means we can't retreat.
Yeah, he's only here because.
Are we done? Arbok locks us in. We're done, right?
He's only here because of.
Phil's only got 1 knockout point here. Would we have won if we Sabrina'd? We'd have won if we'd Sabrina'd the previous turn, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah,
no.
we did it. If we would have Sabrina'd, Phil would have been on 2 knockout points here.
Oh, he's good. No,
We're done. We're done. Phil threw again by not playing the Sabrina the previous turn.
Wait.
If Phil would have Sabrina'd the coughing the previous turn, this Arbok knockout would be our 3rd match point and we'd be done here.
But
we're dead to tackle.
Yeah, no matter what we just did.
We're dead to tackle. We go up to 40, we go down to 30, tackle plus poisons another 40. It's exactly like we said at the top of this round. Raven needed to get lucky and play out of his mind, and I think both those things happened. I don't think Raven made a single mistake in this game.
He played too.
I think every single opportunity he had to maneuver around Phil, he maneuvered around Phil.
He had to bait.
Jerome, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Yep. We're done here. Phil, the two, if I'm Phil and I look back on this set and I say, what could I have done better? Those tempo energies at the beginning was huge. And then that Sabrina on the second to last turn, also a deciding factor. Either either of those things happen differently, I think Phil takes this game. This game, this round, this tournament.
Yep, it's all over. The final showdown.
We are finally done.
The showdown's over, guys. The showdown's over. The final.
All right, gamers, if you enjoyed my tournament commentary, I would love to hear about that. I think I'm going to upload these to YouTube and have the editor cut them out, so I'm going to record a YouTube outro here too. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, I'd love to hear in the comments down below if you'd like me to try and make it possible for me to do commentary on some more tournaments in the future. I had fun doing it. I think this did an excellent job of showcasing the kind of depth and back and forth and strategy that goes into playing Pokemon Pocket at a higher level. Hats off to Raven for winning the whole thing. Thanks everybody for hanging out. It's 10 o'clock. 10:30 here in the cornfields. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the evening.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it.
I'm gonna rate on it over to Dexter since he put this whole thing together. Be sure to check him out. What a fantastically fun finals. Oh, also before we go, can someone use the voting info command? That reminds me. Election day is Tuesday in the United States. I have partnered with Next Gen America to make getting access to voting information easier. Pop in our Discord server. If you don't have a plan to vote, talk to the Votey bot. It can help you make plans to vote, find your polling station, etc. There are a number of states that allow same-day registration if you're not registered yet. However, not all of them. Votey can help you find out all those details. Remember, when we vote, we win, gamers. Make sure to get out and vote this election. And I'm gonna raid Dexter. Peace, folks.
Did you did? Tournament. Crazy.
That was fun.